Hey. All right. So this is for people that are dealing with Virgos. I'm sorry. I'm tired. This shit's draining my energy. This is probably gonna be the last one I do today. Um, Again, for those of you that don't know, my energies. My readings are more focused on healing relationships, healing self, trying to work things out and fix situations. So if you're not interested in that, this is not for you. But if you are, and that's what you want to do and work towards healing, then perfect. Might not be your story. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. You don't need to be extra stressed out about shit that does not apply to your life. And you take it as it's yours or it's not yours, it's the other individual, however the energy is resonating, okay? But like I said, I'm not for everybody because everybody's not interested in healing. Everybody just wants to know if they're going to come back and all that other shit. So, but you or the other individual, you there's a difference between setting limits and setting boundaries. Now, when you set boundaries, it's to respect yourself, respect your time, so it's beneficial for you. It's loving yourself enough to know when to say no to people and not allow bullshit in. Now, setting limits is necessary because if you don't, then people are going to walk all over you. You have to be able to say no to people and walk away and say, I don't fucking feel like it. You don't owe people an explanation for not wanting to do something. Okay. Always remember, I don't give a fuck who it is. Unless you're a child and, you got parents, you got to talk to them. But most of us are grown. So practice saying what you need, be verbal about, I need this, I don't want this, I want that. Whatever it is, make a list. Lists are fucking awesome. Write the shit down. Right. Like, this is what I'm okay with. I'm not okay with this. If you're going to treat me like shit, you're not going to be present, you're not going to be consistent, then no, have a boundary, have your shit where you're like, this is okay, this is not okay. Because if you don't have that, then you're going to allow anything to fucking happen. And you can't do that with people because there are people that will literally take you and drain the living fuck out of you and leave you with nothing. So work on your boundaries, okay? Don't be afraid to say no to people. Some of you are spiritual. So if you are spiritual, then there is a career that's coming for you, or maybe you're a reader or you do Reiki, whatever it is, whatever type of work that you do, if it's healing energy, that is going to be your career path. So be open to it. And for some of you that haven't been fully awakened or are still trying to figure shit out, this is what your path is, and sometimes it is sharing your stories with other people to help people heal. Because even if you save one person's life or you touch one person's life, it works fucking miracles. Okay, so don't be afraid. But they're showing me that a change is coming. It's 555. They're showing me that changes are coming in this relationship. So if you are dealing with a Virgo, there is going to be a change to whatever you guys have going on. Now, some of you have to take action, whether it's you or this person. Everything starts with taking a step. If you're too afraid to take a step, you have to look at it as you're missing 100% of the chances that you don't take. You're not going to succeed ever if you just sit there and be like, no, I'm not going to do this because they're going to react like this, or no, this isn't going to happen because whatever your mind's telling you. So understand, if you don't take these chances when they're presented to you, you're always going to lose. So if an opportunity presents itself, act on it. I probably said this in every reading, but a book called 5-Second Rule, count down like a fucking one. And when you get to one, take action. Go make a move, do whatever the fuck it is, but move towards whatever it is your intuition's pushing you to. The more you do it, the easier it becomes. But I think it was an awesome book, and it's great for people that suffer with anxiety or making decisions overall, or you're just depressed and you don't want to get out of fucking bed. It's kind of a motivator. So try that, okay? Because you focus your energy. And when you start focusing your energy and you're moving from intention, you're putting more, it's better energy because you're like, okay, I want to focus on this. This is where my energy is going. Now, if you want a relationship with this Virgo or vice versa, and you're entertaining this person here and you're entertaining that person there, energy is spread out. So the universe isn't sure about what you want or what you're trying to get because you're entertaining 5 different fucking people. So it's like, okay, when you figure out your shit, then you let me know because the universe is like, well, do you want this person? Do you want that person? Do you want this? Focus on what it is your heart truly wants. And if it is this Virgo, focus on that Virgo and put your energy towards that because then it'll manifest. But if you're spread the fuck out and you're dealing with 20 different people, good luck. At some point you'll dwindle it down. You know, I'm not saying it's bad to date around, but it's hard to get what you want when you're all over the fucking place. So it's good to trust your intuition and kind of bring it back down a little bit because once you do that and you set your intention and you start focusing on that, everything will start unfolding in your career path, your relationship, whatever it is, it's going to start revealing itself and it's going to start flowing more easily. Sometimes we hit, but the resistance that you hit, don't look at it as a bad thing because sometimes it's protecting you from something or it's setting you for another blessing, something that's better than what you wanted. So don't always look at it as it's bad because it's not, you know, it might feel bad, but the blessing you'll understand after. Like, okay, this is why that happened. So be okay with that. I'll probably get back on here, Thomas, after I do the Virgo reading and pull a couple cards for people. If I have to re-energize because my energy is getting depleted right now. This is the third one I've done in a row. So release any self-imposed restrictions you have or limitations you've set on yourself about being open or being loving or sharing that part of yourself. Okay, release those limitations because the more you limit yourself, the harder it's going to be to get to what you want or where you want to go. So if you believe like, oh, I'm never going to have this, then you're never going to have that because that's your belief. You believe I can't do this, you're not going to do it because in your mind, that's what you're telling yourself. You have to get out of that. You have to start believing in yourself and trusting in yourself and focus on positive things. And I know it's easier said than done, especially when you're going through the fucking loads of bullshit. I know because I've been there. And believe me, I'd be like, fuck you, I don't give a fuck, I'm not doing shit. Try to focus positive, you know, find something that makes you happy. If it's a baby laughing or it's something fucking retarded that happened however many years ago and you're like, yo, that shit was hilarious. Train your mind. You have to retrain your mind because we grow up and we take on whatever our parents' fears were, whatever they went through, whatever it was, we take all of this on from society and then that's us. That's who we become. And it's not factual, you know. Be positive, focus on the good. And be individual. I don't know whatever it is that you're working on or with, if you're with this person, be who you truly are. You know, don't try to be like somebody else. Don't try to be like their ex or whatever ideal person in their mind they want. No, you be who you are. You be true to you. And the people that are meant for you are going to come to you. Okay. Don't change who you are as a person to fit someone else's dream. Because the more you mold yourself and you keep transforming and you keep changing, you're never going to be satisfied. You're never going to be fulfilled because you keep trying to play a role in somebody else's life. Play your part in your life, be true to you, and the right people will come to you. But as long as you're wearing masks and you're pretending to be all these other fucking people and all these other things, it's not going to work out. You're always going to keep hitting a fucking wall and you're going to be like, why? And why isn't this relationship work? Why haven't any of these relationships worked? Be who you are. Be true to yourself, okay? Because it's better to find out at the beginning that, hey, this is not my person. This is not going to work, as opposed to 10 years down the fucking road, you got a house, kids, everything. And now it's like, oh, I got to break up a whole family. Don't do that, okay? And when you're able to recognize friendliness, be nice to other people. When you see these things, when you see loving qualities in other people, it's because you possess those qualities, okay? Whatever we see in other people is within us, whether it's the good or the bad, that is what's within us. And we have to start acknowledging that that is a mirror, it's a reflection. So when we pick up on shit and we're like, damn, this fucking bitch gets on my nerves, or this nigga is getting on my nerves, whatever it is, see why. Well, how does it resonate with you? Maybe you have those things. Maybe you do those things. But you have to start checking yourself. Everybody keeps messaging me right now. Okay, but understand, there's always traits in all of these things. And when you're able to focus and come from When you build a relationship on friendship, it's better and it's a firmer foundation and it's more stable because you're actually getting to know this individual, as who they are, not, oh, damn, you had a one night stand and all of a sudden it turned into multiple one night stands and you become friends. Don't do that. Okay. Start slowly, get to know each other because that's how you will find victory in your situation. Because there is victory that's going to come, but there's a balance that needs to be achieved first. So if you guys have been up and down or it's been rocky, or maybe you were just wearing so many masks because you're not really sure of who you are, and that's okay. It takes time for us to figure out who the fuck we are in life. We grow up and we're supposed to conform to society and how we were raised and our friends and all the shit that people expect from us. I understand, but you have to start breaking these molds. You have to start breaking out of that and identifying with yourself and who you truly are and what your heart wants and what your intuition is calling you to. Okay, because they're showing me that you are going to be victorious and successful. And for some of you, this is a twin situation, but the foundation that you're going to have is going to be a very firm foundation, and there is balance that's going to be brought back into this situation. So if you feel like you haven't been making any progress or it's never going to go anywhere, it is. You just have to trust it and give it time, okay? And you really have to work on you. You have to understand that we're all individual and we all bring something unique to the table. So don't worry about what the next person has to offer or whatever. Don't worry about that. You worry about you and you focus on you and you do the best that you can do. That's all we can ever do, is do the best we can. But don't feel like you got to be somebody else. You have to heal. And that's what keeps coming up. Like, you really need to heal. Okay. And if you have this relationship, focus your energy on healing the relationship. Don't focus on, damn, this is why it's fucked up, or this is fucked up because of this or that. Don't focus on the reasons it's not working or the reasons it's fucked up or the many thousand reasons why it's never going to fucking work, because all you're doing is setting up reasons for it to not work. Allow it. Be open to it. Say, okay, I'm going to allow life to happen. And that means if you're afraid of love, you have to be open to receiving love. You can't say, I want love, but then push everybody away and start rejecting. You can't do that. You have to be open to it, okay? And sometimes it's necessary to step back from a situation, especially if it requires healing, and give the other individual their space. Because think about it. If you've ever been cheated on, it breaks your fucking heart. And you're heartbroken and the other person may be apologetic, but it's not enough for you to instantly be like, I forgive you and I'm over it. Because the reality is nobody gets over the shit that fucking fast. It just doesn't happen. You destroyed somebody's heart. So you need to allow the space and the time for that individual to heal if you want things to work out. You can't force people to do what you want because that's what the fuck you want. You can't do that because it's going to end badly every fucking time. So focus on yourself, okay? Don't worry about the other individual. If that person is meant for you, they're going to come back to you because that's destined. That's what's meant to happen. So don't focus on that. But it's necessary for you to build your friendships with people. If you've been alone or you've been isolating yourself, reach out, okay? Reach out to your friends, reach out to your family, focus ships, because it gives you something different to focus on. Okay? So they're saying friendship is definitely important right now. So please work towards that, focus on that. And be aware that it's necessary to live moment to moment and trust yourself, because in trusting yourself and being present and allowing and flowing with life and not forcing or coercing things or manipulating shit to what you want it to be, things work better. But when you put your own influence on it and you're like, you know what, let me manipulate this person into doing what I want them to do. Let me coerce this situation so that way it falls into, no, you can't control every fucking thing. It's not meant for you to control. It's life. You let it happen. The more you allow it to happen, the easier it is, okay? And sometimes things have to fall away. If things don't fall away, how the fuckers think, how are things going to change? You think about the toxic ass relationships, the toxic ass people you've had in your life. Imagine you still having all of that shit right now. You'd go fucking crazy. So it's necessary sometimes for things to fall away, for people to fall away, for relationships to fall away, because it brings better things. It opens it up so that way you have the peaceful, the loving, the supportive energies that you need in your life, okay? But Spirit wants you right now to pay attention to the signs that they're giving you. So some of you, it's music, could be TV, commercials, could be an individual that walked up to you and started talking to you, and you're just like, how and why? So be aware of these things because your guides are coming through and they're passing on the information. But if you're not listening, this is the way they get to you because they're like, okay, well, they'll watch this and they'll pay attention. But they are trying to communicate to you guys, okay? But they want you to listen to your heart because you're not doing that right now. Stop listening to your head because it's fucking it up. But they, I don't know, some of you do have the gifts of divination, tarot readings using pendulums, bones, runes, whatever it is that you use for divination. Okay, use those things. Start working on that so that way you can start doing it for yourself and trust the intuition no matter what. Sometimes we look at it like, damn, this shit's telling me to do this, but it was fuck and I don't know if I should. That's when we talk ourselves out. That's when you go from the 5 to the 1 and you're like, fuck it, I'm going to do it. Don't give yourself enough time to talk yourself out of the impulses, the intuition, your pulls. Don't talk yourself out of those. That's when you, okay, make the move. I'm going to do it. You're scared of shit, do it because you appreciate it later. You won't have any regrets later on in life because you're going to know I acted on my intuition. I acted on my impulse. I acted out of love. And as long as you're always authentic and you're being authentic, everything's going to always work out for you. So don't be afraid of it. Okay. Don't be afraid of it. It's spirit wants you to ground yourself. So if you haven't taken a nature walk, you haven't been outside in a few days because it's fucking cold, take a walk, bundle up, enjoy the weather, listen to the birds, enjoy the fresh air, because that's going to help you come back to center. And again, things are slowing down because you're about to begin a new adventure, a new journey in your life. So right now it's necessary for reflection. And I say reflection not because, let's reflect on how fucked up things were. It's reflection on what did I contribute to make this fucked up? How did I contribute? And how can I fix this? How can I be better? How can I make the situation better with this individual? Because it's not a one-sided thing. It goes both ways. Both people contribute to the bullshit in relationships. And you have to be able to own your shit and be okay with acknowledging I fucked up. I did this. And correct it. It's not I'm gonna acknowledge it and keep doing fucked up shit. Correct the shit that you've done and do better. And it's hard because a lot of us focus on the physical. We see people and we're like, oh, I want that. But you want it because it's something that's beautiful and you're drawn to it because damn, they got a fat ass or he got a nice chest or whatever the fuck. No. Focus on the soul, because when 9 times out of 10, when you get to sit down with these people that are so beautiful and got this and got that, you're like, I don't really like this person. I don't really like that energy. So stop sleeping with these fucking people because you don't know what they're carrying. And now you're picking up that fucking energy and you're taking it wherever and you're passing it on to this person, especially if you're sleeping around with mad people. That's all the energy you're taking on. You don't want that in your fucking life. You got your own energy and your own problems. So do cord cutting, releasing things like that to release other people's energy and call back your own energy. You don't want to have all this other shit, but allow things to take its time. Right now it is kind of slow going, but work on you. While things are slow, work on yourself. Allow yourself to become a better individual, because through sharing and allowing life to happen, things are going to get better. So don't be so pressed about everything, because here we go. We have the Lovers, and it could be a decision that is coming up, but we got balance again. It came out twice. Yeah. So there is a form of balance that is coming in. Justice is going to come in. So if it's been a fucked up situation on your part or the other person's part, balance is going to come into this situation, because there's something that's toxic, that's poisoning, that's putting bad energy into this situation, to this relationship. So be careful for whoever it is that you're talking to or dealing with or trusting with the information that you're giving, because someone doesn't have the best intention. There's a word I'm looking for and it's not coming to mind, but it's creating discord. It's making things more complicated for you because you keep on trusting them. So be careful with the things people are saying and what you're saying. You don't go to people that are hurt and haven't healed from their shit for advice. People that are healed or been married 50 years and been through mad shit, and they're like, you know what, we stayed together because we worked through this. And those are the kinds of people you want advice from, not from people that are like, man, fuck that, she's a hoe, she's this. You don't want that kind of advice, because y'all live in different life paths. And as long as you let other people dictate your life path, you're not going to find happiness, because you're taking everybody else's opinion instead of trusting yourself. So trust yourself. Don't be so open to giving people information, because other people's energy fuck up your shit. So keep it to yourself, okay? You want it to be good. But there is generosity and some form of giving. Okay, so the balance that you're going to get, maybe they're going to make you an offer, but it's not going to be the best offer. You know, they're giving you something, but it's like they're giving it to you to kind of, I don't want to say shut you up, but like give you some type of satisfaction so that you don't fully walk away. But they have so much more that they're capable of offering. So it's going to be your choice if you're going to be just run back to this, or you're going to give them time to make sure that they're being fully committed and they're offering you everything that they truly have to offer. You don't want to take a half-ass offer. So there is balance that's coming in, but make sure that you're getting the whole package. You don't want a piece of it. You want the whole thing, okay? Because this person, they feel bad. I'm assuming, I'm taking it as cheating, because they feel bad that they couldn't do what they needed to do by you. Like they kept shitting on you and shitting on you, and no matter what you did, it was never good enough, because you are this person's, like, your home. You know, when you're home to somebody, like when you feel like, yes, this is my person, where you fall right in, no matter if it's been 10 fucking years since you talked. Understand, people lie. They don't lie just because, oh, it's fun to lie. People lie because when you're growing up and you grow up in a household where you're probably gonna get your ass beat for whatever the fuck it was that you did, that's when people start lying, because they're afraid of the consequences, especially when it's a physical consequence that's going to cause you bodily harm. So that's why people lie. Now, I'm not saying it's okay or it's an excuse. I just say it so that way you can look at things from a different perspective and not come at it as, oh, this guy's full of shit because of this. No, people are just raised this way and they become this way as adults, and it fucks things up in the long run because they haven't healed it. And some people don't even know that they need to heal this shit. This is why I focus on the healing. But understand, this person is a liar, and that's their go-to. That's what it is. They need to work on this, and maybe point it out, maybe talk to them about it, and see how their childhood was, see what it was like for them growing up, so that way you can have a better understanding and learn how to deal with the relationship in a better manner, as opposed to just constantly fighting and constantly lying and cheating. And no, because when people are safe and they feel like they can communicate openly, and there's not going to be like some type of repercussion, like a bad repercussion, people are more open to speak to you. Even with children, if you speak to your child and you say, this is a safe place, you can talk to me about anything, even if you don't want to hear it, you might not want to hear it. But as long as you keep that open, they're always going to be honest. There's always going to be the communication. But if you're going to be that person that's going to flip the fuck out, punch something, whatever it is, if you have that type of reaction of blowing up, they're not going to come to you. They're not going to want to speak to you. They're going to lie because you're going to act crazy. So you have to figure out where you are in this. And again, like I said, it's two people. You have to work on it from both sides. It's not a one-sided thing. For others of you, it's allowing divine timing to run its course. Because some of you want things to go. Now, it's our ego that's like, oh, this needs to happen now. I don't have time. This needs to happen now because I want it. Understand, if everything happened the way you wanted it to, when it fucking at that moment, how fucked up shit would get really quick, because then you just have all types of shit happening, and it's like, no, that wasn't the best thing for me. And I probably shouldn't have did that. This is why it's important to step back and allow the universe to help everything else fall into place, okay? Because if you're sitting here and you're so focused on forcing things to come out the way you want, it's not going to work, because you're putting in resistance. It's bad energy that you're just like, I have to have it. And that's what you're focused on. And you have this attachment and expectation. You have to let that go. Okay. You have to find a way to do things in moderation. And again, being yourself. Like, this keeps coming up. So one of you is not being authentically you. And I don't know why people feel the need to have to be somebody else. You are beautiful the way you are. Okay, you were created the way you are in your own uniqueness to provide something to somebody else. Okay, like I can sit here and talk all day, but whatever I provide, this is me. You know, this is me talking from personal experience, from shit that I've been through, from readings, the shit that spirit wants me to tell you. This is what I give, you know, and it's not like everybody else's. This is why I say you focus on you and you be unique. Okay, especially when you're dealing with a relationship, be true, because if you're going into it pretending, like I say, we meet people's representatives. I don't like representatives. I want you to be the asshole you truly are when I meet you. I'm good with that, because then I know what the fuck I'm getting into. I don't want to meet the person that's, oh, this is the sweetest person I've ever met and they're fucking amazing and oh my God, they never get upset. And then 6 months on the road, he's fucking psychotic. He probably beat the shit out of his ex, like all types of crazy shit. No, this is why it's important. Talk to people, get to know these people, understand where they come from, and see if that's what you want, because it's it's a waste of fucking time. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of life. Nobody has time. You don't get your time back. So be honest. This is me. Like, hey, I'm an asshole. I will gladly tell you I'm an asshole. Sometimes I might flip the fuck out, but it's always for a valid reason. Be honest, because it eliminates the bullshit. You don't want to be with somebody because you're pretending to be something else. At some point, the pretending ends. And then all hell's going to break loose because they're like, oh, you're not the person you told me you were. You're not the person you've been for the past 6 fucking months. You're not that individual. Don't do that to yourself. Okay? Be who the fuck you are. And if that person wants to fuck with you and if they love you, they're going to love you if you're crazy or you're not crazy. It doesn't, whatever the fuck you bring to the table, they're going to love all of you. And that's the individual that you want. You got to be that individual. So you bring to the table what you want. If you want authenticity, then you need to give authenticity. You can't expect, oh, well, they're going to be authentic with me, but I'm going to bullshit them. No, because at some point, the mask is going to come off and you're going to be like, that's really nasty and it's fucking ugly and I don't want to deal with that. So please focus on that, okay? And if you're going through changes and you're doing work, understand in moderation. Do it a little bit at a time. Take your time. Don't force it. Don't rush it. Take your time. Say, okay, I'm going to work on healing my childhood issues this week, or how it is a fucking process, and it's an ugly ass process when you're healing. But choose it and say, okay, well, these are my childhood issues. These are my mommy issues. These are my daddy issues. Whatever it was that you need to work on, choose one of those things and work on healing it. And healing it, I mean, not pretending you're okay. It's crying. It's feeling those feelings, acknowledging them, and accepting them. So if you were vulnerable, or somebody took advantage of you, or somebody did something to you that you had no control over, you have to accept that. You have to own that. Regardless of how shitty it was or how you feel about it, you have to allow that to heal, because that's the only way you're going to move past that and become a better person. You have to feel those emotions, as shitty as they may be. You have to feel them. And I know, believe me, if I tell you how much I fucking cried this past year, y'all be like, yo, I had my own fucking ocean. So be okay with that, okay? And for some of you, you are very creative. So I don't know if you work in music, you do artistic shit, you're a dancer, whatever it is, but enjoy it. Put the effort into that. That can be a form of healing for some people. So do it. Write poetry. I don't know if you write, but write poetry, because that's a good outlet. You know, things that let you get these things out. And you don't have to share them. I encourage people to share their stories, just because some shit that happens to us, it causes us shame. And we shouldn't feel shame for things that occurred. You know, we own it, and I say, yes, this happened to me. And I own my shit. And okay, it was fucked up, but okay, I'm a better person. You know, I understand why it happened, because now I can share my story. Now I can provide someone else the inspiration to live another fucking day and maybe get past the shit that they've been struggling to get past. So, and when you start healing, start sharing your life, because you can save one person. Just say, okay, so don't feel like it's pointless, or no, you affect somebody. Your life matters because it always impacts someone else's life. So please pay attention to that. And for those of you that have, I don't know if you're still with this person, but if you're in a relationship and you're like wishy-washy, or this is the relationship and they're fucking lying and cheating and doing all this shit to you, you can always change your mind. Okay. And I will say that a million times over. People feel like when you make a commitment, like you're stuck. And sometimes, yes, you do feel stuck, because if it's a codependent thing and you're like, oh, well, they're the financial provider, financially they provide for me and I'm the homemaker, or vice versa, whatever it is, it makes it harder for you to get out of those situations. So try not to allow that to be the case. But you always have the right to change your mind. Don't feel like, oh, well, I did this and now I'm stuck. You're never stuck. You just have to find the strength within you to walk away from it, okay? Because you're more powerful than you will ever know. And your ancestors and your spirit guides are always there. So if you feel like you are lacking strength and you can't do it, call on them and tell them, I need this. I need help with this, because they're there, but they can't intervene on our behalf unless we specifically ask them to. Okay, so make sure that you're talking to them. Have your altars, your little sacred space. Communicate with them so that way you can have this relationship and they can help you through your life, okay? And whatever this is, whoever you're dealing with, have compassion. And again, I know it's hard, especially when people are fucking shitting on you. It's important, because I like to tell people I treat people how I want to be treated. That is my biggest thing. It's even with my kids. I'm like, would you like it if somebody did these things to you? Would you like it if somebody treated you like this? And 9 times out of 10, the answer is no. Nobody likes to be cheated on. Nobody likes to be lied to. Nobody likes any of these things. But yet, we still do these things. Why? Because we're afraid. Stop being afraid. Start being truthful. Start being authentic. And show compassion, because you don't know what this person's been through, because nobody fucking asks the important questions. When you start relationships, nobody says, hey, have you healed from these things? Have you worked on your childhood wounds? Have you done this? Nobody asks that. So you don't know. You get into this, and then later on, you start realizing, oh, this person's a fucking narcissist, or this person is a compulsive liar. And then you got to fucking sit there and start decoding shit and understand it. And like, what the fuck? No, do it at the beginning, so that way you don't waste years of your fucking life. You can't get time back. Time is the most precious thing we fucking have. You can't get it back. So again, owning your shit. Like I said, you have to own your shit. Whatever it, again, if you run a race and you win first place, you're like, yes, I fucking did it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And you take on that achievement and you're showing and you're bragging to everybody like, yeah, I did this. Is the same way. Oh, you know what? I did cheat. You know what? I did lie. You know what? I broke this fucking person's heart because I was broken. Own it. You have to own both of them the same. You can't own the good and neglect the bad, because that causes the discord within us. We have to integrate the good and the bad, the shadow and the light. We have to integrate all of these things to be whole. It's not all light and love all the time, as much as we like to believe. It's not like that. We're human. We have fucking emotions that throws everything off. So own everything, the good and the bad. And after it causes you change, okay? Because again, we got the creativity. So maybe this is something that's meant to help you spark your creativity. This is what you're going through right now, is meant to get that spark under your ass again. So if you haven't been writing, start writing again. If you haven't been creating music, start creating again. If you haven't been painting, start painting. Whatever it is that you fucking put on the back burner because you're so broken or so depressed or so stressed out, start doing it again, okay? Because this is going to be your inspiration. And in doing this, I'm assuming you're sharing your story. When you start doing that, people will gravitate. That will help you create your abundance. That will take you to where you're meant to be going. But you have to be authentic. You can't hide it. You can't lie. You have to be authentically you, because you or the other individual has withdrawn emotionally. Now, they're withdrawn emotionally because it's like they're tired, just fucking tired. And sometimes we have to withdraw, because if we keep on leaving our hearts open, we're going to keep getting shitted on. Nobody wants that. So when you withdraw your attention or you withdraw your emotion, you're taking your energy back from that, okay? and other people feel that you take your energy back, and sometimes it's okay. You need to isolate yourself and deal with your feelings. If this is you, that you've dealt with the cheating and the lying and the manipulating and whatever the fuck else this person did, you need the time to really heal from that shit. It's not going to be like, oh yeah, you know what, I spent 10 years cheating on her, she should be over it in like 5 seconds, she good, don't worry about it. No, heal. Either you or the other individual, take that time, go within, heal, be okay with being alone. Because a lot of us don't like being alone. We pack our days with a lot of shit to do, where we make ourselves busy and we do all this to avoid our feelings and avoid healing. No, it's okay to withdraw, but if you're feeling depressed, then please go see a therapist, talk to family, talk to friends, do things. Like I said, count down. Because there's many days where I'm like, fuck you, I'm not getting out of bed, I don't give a fuck. That'll help you. You'd be like, all right, rocket, take off. Like, I'm going to go do this, because you can't talk yourself out of it. But your fulfillment, your wishes, there is going to be positive movement forward. So all of this, while it's shitty right now, there is going to be positive movement forward, and it is going to fulfill a lot of the things that you want. So if your wish fulfillment is having that relationship or having your family back, whatever that is, it is going to come to fruition, but you have to do the work. Okay? Shit does not come easy. And if it does come easy, ask yourself why it's fucking easy. Because understand, like I said, we're mirrors of each other. So when people come and they're like, oh, I don't like her because she's acting like a bitch, or she thinks she's better than me, or they're whatever it is that they're projecting to you, that's how they feel inside. That's how they feel about themselves. So don't look at it as, damn, am I that person? Am I like that? No, it's not a you thing. It is a them thing. And the sooner you realize that a lot of people just project their own shit onto you, the easier it is to find the compassion and the understanding and the patience to deal with this. But if you always take it on as you're being attacked or they're coming for you, it's not, you're going to be defensive. You're going to butt heads because you're like, oh, well, I'm not like that and I'm not this. If you look at it as, oh, well, this person must feel that way about themselves, then it creates compassion in your heart and understanding, and you're able to tolerate them a little bit better. Okay, so understand, we're always a reflection of each other. So when you see the good and the things that you love, you have that in you. When you see the bad, you also have that. It's owning it and integrating it, so that way you can live in balance and in peace. Okay, because there is a transformation that is going to take place with this relationship, and love conquers everything. Love will conquer every fucking thing. I don't care how many times it's fucked up, but transformation is going to take place. But again, all of that other stuff needs to happen. So there's a lot of healing for Virgos. And there's never a right or wrong choice. Like I said, even if the relationship doesn't work, there's always lessons in the relationship. There's always something to take from it. And don't look at it as bad, because you look at it when we go to school. We start school, right? Fucking kindergarten. And you start learning and you start working, and you're like, okay, well, kindergarten, the fuck do they do? ABCs and colors and shapes and shit. You start with that. And then middle school, you're doing fucking algebra, geometry, whatever. And as time goes on, you become more aware, you learn more. So it's the same thing with love or anything else. The more you work on it, the more you learn, the more you heal, the easier things become, because now you have more tools in your bag to work on it and fix it. Okay, but it's important for you to trust. When we take leaps, we always take these leaps and we're scared as shit. And when you're afraid, you don't want to do nothing, because you talk yourself out of it. So you have to take the leaps, the 5 through 1, do that. Okay, count down and move forward. Always move forward. Say it as, okay, I'm gonna now take a leap of faith and we'll see what happens. Because you can always walk away. If it's fucked up, you can always walk away, but take those lessons in your life and your relationships and apply them. Don't allow these things to keep cycling over and repeating themselves, because you're just like, why do people keep doing this? It's because there's something in you that's wounded that keeps creating the situation, because you haven't figured it out. You haven't seen the lesson in it. So look at your life, backtrack, see what's consistent, what's repetitive, and start working on healing that, because that's the way you're going to get out of this. But you have to acknowledge it and work on it. Now, again, prosperity is on its way. So for those of you that have been worried about money, it is coming to you or to the other individual, okay? but make sure that you're being responsible with the finances, especially now with all this craziness happening. And I'm not worried about it. I don't care. Like, if I'm gonna die, I'm gonna fucking die. I don't fucking care. But make sure you're taking the time out, okay? Time out from the world is sometimes necessary, because the more time you spend with other people and other energies and you're talking about the bad, it's like you're just keep on reliving it. We only relive bad things because that's the memory we choose to focus on. It's a moment. Once that moment passes, it's done and it's gone forever. You never get it back. So we replay it, and that's the only reason we keep ourselves sad, because it keeps on replaying in our minds. Don't do that to yourself. It's a moment, it passed, okay, it was fucked up, it hurt, cry about it, let it out, move forward. Focus on now. As long as you're always in the now, you don't have time to be worried about then, because you're so present now. Let that happen, okay? Because in this person, whatever this person is experienced, whether it's you or them, however it is, they start experiencing life moment to moment. And in this, they're going to have the tower moment and realize that they create their own life. We create our heaven and we create our hell. Whether or not you believe it doesn't matter. You have to understand that if you want good, focus on good, or you're going to keep getting bad. And it's easier for people that were brought up in a not toxic ass environment or not in the hood. Because when you grow up in poverty and you have this mindset of, I can never have what other people have, I can never achieve what other people have achieved. Because believe me, I know I never believed I'd be able to have my own house. I never believed I'd be able to have my own car. I never believed any of that because I grew up in the hood. Nobody has a fucking car. We live in the fucking projects. Nobody has their own house. Nobody has anything. And that's what you grow up with, because that's all you know. That's why it's important to deal with people that are going to bring you up. You deal with what you want. You don't want to deal with the same people with the same bullshit running around the streets. No, you find, oh, well, you know what? I want to be a designer. Find people that design. I want to be an actor. Find people that do plays or fucking do these, work on those. Start building new friendships, new connections, okay? Because then you'll be able to create a better life for yourself. But there is a tower moment that has been created for this person where it's going to come through, and they're heartbroken. Whoever it was, again, we have the Three of Swords here. So somebody is very, very sad right now, and they're guarded. So maybe you're the one that's guarded from the bullshit, and you're just at a point where it's like, nah, I want the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, or you're not fucking talking to me no more. Stand your ground, okay? Because the emotion, the love, it's there. They just show it in a really fucked up, twisted way. But it is there. And that shit that they're healing, they're working on it. But your heartbreak, that's something that you have to work on too. You can't expect that individual to just fix all their shit and you're not fixing your own shit as well. Because even if this is something you want to go back to and you want to rebuild it, then you still have to heal all of the shit that they did to you. All of those wounds, you have to let it go. You have to forgive it and move forward. Because if you're going to hold on to that, the relationship's not going to work. Y'all going to be beefing for fucking ever. It's pointless. So you both have to work on healing, and you can't just blame. Everybody plays a part, okay? Everybody plays a part. But maintain your ground and don't accept anything less than the truth. And trust your intuition. If you feel somebody's bullshitting you, they probably fucking are, okay? Don't be like me, like, well, maybe I'm just a real asshole and maybe I'm just being mean. No. Trust it the first time. You're not an asshole. Okay, but the offer is coming in. They do want to offer you love. Okay, they have a lot of emotion for you. And they're suffering as much as you are. And you're missing. Like, you are what's missing for them. It's hard for people to understand when you're broken and you're just like, what is it inside me? Like, why can't I do this? Why can't I fully commit to this? Or, and it's shit from childhood, like really shit from childhood. You look at your life and you're just like, damn, you know what? When I was a kid, I never followed through on anything. I was always half-assing shit, and I always just stopped doing things, and I'd always just drop out of shit. That's where it comes from. You have to look at it. Like, can I be committed to something? Can I follow through on something? And if that's something you've had issues with, start slow. Pick something little. Say, okay, you know what? This week I'm going to read a book, and read the book in its entirety. I have thousands of books. I only read a few of them. And I'm like, yeah, I'll get to it. I'll start it and then never finish it. So Figure out what works for you, but make the commitment. When you make the commitment, follow it through to the end, because that'll help you start building a new foundation. You start reprogramming yourself. You start preparing yourself to be able to commit to things and to people. So do that, okay? Because this person doesn't even understand how the fuck you still have emotions for them. If you are this intense individual, that's what scares them. It's like intriguing to them, but it terrifies the fuck out of them at the same time. But if you still love this person after all of the shit, then understand that this is probably your person and this is what you want to work on, but both of you need to heal. You can't hold on to the resentments and the anger, and you can't hold on to all of it. You got to let it go. Let it rock. Okay, let it be what it's going to be. So these are the chakras that came out. You guys need to work on your root chakras and your heart chakras, which is some real shit, because when you start working on the heart chakras, you're going to start crying immediately. So make sure you're alone in private somewhere if you don't want people to see you cry. But, I don't even have it on this. There's a lot of stuff on YouTube that I found. I like meditations and things like that to help you heal the chakras. They don't have to be long, 15, 20 minutes. Just allow it, or 8-hour ones that you could put on when you're sleeping. Those are perfect. See what other ones come out. Jesus Christ. They want to give you all the crystals. How fucked up is this? I'll put these two back. No. All right. And are there any other ones? All right, I'm going to do 4 because this shit just going to keep on throwing crystals out at me. The first one we have is diamonds. So I'm sure some of you probably already have diamonds. So that is one crystal that you need to incorporate into your life. This is not number 9, number 20. I'm going to read the description so that way you know whether or not you want to get it or not. But this one is the priceless gift of time and pressure combined. Beauty and strength arising from trials and challenges. The right use of power. So again, everything that you've been through or are going through right now, that would be a perfect stone for you to have, because it's helping you get through all of this. It helps your energy fluctuate. Now, the green adventurine, it's for luck, good fortune, potential, possibility, and new opportunities. So if this is what you're trying to create, get this stone, carry it with you, wear it. I have my bracelets where, you can wear the bracelet or your necklace, however it is, but keep it on you because it helps with the energy work that needs to get done. And sometimes even wearing that color, the color of the chakra, will help you work through that. Now we have obsidian here. Observing the self, self-reflection, and know thyself. For those of you that are having times being authentically you, carry this one with you at all times because it's going to help bring out who you truly are. So stop pretending. Don't pretend. Nobody wants someone to pretend. I want authenticity all the time. Agerine, I think it's agerine. I could be saying it wrong. But this one's for integrity, solidarity, impeccability, reliability, and consistency. So again, like I said, working on the consistency. If you have issues with that, get you this stone and it'll work out better for you. Now I'm going to pull from the Angel Answers deck. You guys let me know. Well, focus on any questions you have. I will pull 3 cards because there's a decent amount of people. So you see whatever you want to ask. I'm going to shuffle for a little bit so you have time to focus and think. All right, it's saying don't stop. So for some of you that have been debating on what to do, don't stop. Keep moving forward. The other one here is ask for help from others. So if this is something that you're really lacking in, try speaking to other people and get advice. Again, remember, the quality of advice you're going to get is only from as much as they've been through and as much as they healed and as much as they know in life, okay? Because everybody doesn't know everything, and you don't want toxic ass advice. It's like me going to the hood and be like, yo, What should I do? They'd be like, man, leave that motherfucker alone. No. It's the last one here. Let's see. And the last one is perfect timing. So again, this goes into the divine timing. So don't feel like it's pressure. Don't feel pressed. It's going to happen when it's meant to happen, as it's meant to. Just work on yourself and heal your shit. So I hope the message resonates with you guys. I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. And I don't know if I'll be back on here to finish the other signs today, just because I am fucking drained and I'm tired. So if I can get some energy back up, then I'll come finish other signs. But I'll talk to y'all later. Thank you.